Hello, my Teaserking family. How's everybody today? I imagine some of my gold people are a little bit surprised, as I am. So, we're going to talk about that. And then we'll get into football. All right, so we see gold. Again, this is derivative gold. Nobody has sold 1 ounce of it. It is not down from profit taking. It is down from this derivative that happened at roughly 6 o'clock to roughly 10 o'clock. And it went down roughly $50, about $60. Overall, down $80 today. As we know, this is total bullshit. Silver 31.18. We know this is all bullshit. We understand that. Excuse me. So, what's going on? Trump wins. Well, who cares? That doesn't affect gold. You still have a $36 trillion debt. You still have a budget deficit. What can Trump do for the money supply? The money supply is still $130 trillion of money and no more petrodollar and this $36 trillion debt. So I don't know. Trying to use logic, I think if we understand gold is run derivatively this is not physical. This is nobody buying or selling. So what we assume is the U.S. had some big derivatives that they shorted to get out of, which they did. I mean, if you notice, it stops at 10 o'clock. From 10 o'clock on, it really doesn't do anything, right? It was 26.55 and it's 26.59. It had a little bump. So there's nothing. London and or the U.S. had derivatives that they needed to get out of in the 26.60, 26.50, 26.70 range. So when you do a derivative or an option, you short it. You're betting, you're selling it first to buy it back. And excuse me. So what I think happens, these idiots are doing derivatives at 26.60, 26.70, 26.80, and then it goes up to 27. What was it? The high of the day was 26. It was 27.47 or so, right? So at midnight, it's 27.47. So they use Trump as an excuse, and JP Morgan needs to get out of derivatives. He needs the price to go down so they can make money at it, which is what happened. If you notice, it's not keep going down. It went down the $80 to get them out of the derivatives that they needed to short. So they're not, if the price doesn't fall, they're fucked. They lose all this money. So what they did was they used the Trump thing as an excuse. Oh, I heard the dollar is stronger against other currencies. Big fucking deal. The dollar is not strong. The dollar is worthless. The $36 trillion debt didn't go away. The deficit didn't go away. The interest on the debt didn't go away. The petrodollar is still there, and BRICS is still there. So now I'm seeing Bitcoin and the stock market go up. Bitcoin goes up $5,000. So here's my theory on that, is that Bitcoin, they think, will save the debt, right? We'll get out of dollars and go to Bitcoin. That'll save the debt. What's Bitcoin backed by? Nothing. What's Bitcoin's value? Oh, it's in dollars. Does Bitcoin have a value? No. 70,000 is just make believe fantasy. If you're not backed by gold or an asset or a Rolex or a Mahomes card or Mantle card, you don't have a value. So Bitcoin has no value. The dollar has no value. You know, it has value is the lifeboats, gold and silver. So in my mind, that what they're saying is, to get out of this debt, we can't get out of it unless we go to gold is the real answer. But they're saying, well, we'll go to Bitcoin. That'll save us. Well, Bitcoin's not money because it's not accepted. It's not what everybody wants. So Bitcoin is not money. Again, the first thing is what everybody wants is money, and everybody wants gold. Not everybody wants Bitcoin. It's not accepted everywhere. You can't go to a restaurant, or I can't get a plane ticket. I can't go to Italy with Bitcoin. So it's not money. It's the same as a base. It's like the Mickey Mantle card going up $5,000 today. We're going to use that instead. No. So that's what I think happened. These people are clueless because they're all Keynesians. So they don't know what they're doing. These idiots think, well, just keep printing money. So you can't get out of the debt unless you have gold. Plain and simple. Is BRICS going to stop with the gold? No. Is Trump going to sit there and say, okay, Russia, China, we're gonna remove all sanctions so you can stop with the gold-backed currency? Is that an option? I really don't believe it. I believe Putin is going to come out with gold-backed currency for the ruble and and they're just going to wait for the dollar to collapse, which it has. So I don't see where any scenario where China with 60,000 tons of gold, and Russia with 20,000 tons of gold, and India with another 20,000 tons of gold are going to sit there and go, yeah, gosh darn it, you're right. You took the sanction off. We'll go back to the dollar that's heavily worthless and dump our gold. I don't see how that happens. I don't see why that would happen. Just because Trump's in office, are they scared of Trump? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Does it really matter? I don't know. But that's how I'm reading this, right? Oh, well, Bitcoin, we'll go to Bitcoin. That'll save the debt and the dollar. Why else would it go up? Trump, I'm going to make the U.S. the Bitcoin thing. Bitcoin's not anything, Trump. Bitcoin is not money. It's not a collector. You don't even have it. You don't even hold it. So now, Luke, Pat, you guys that are nervous with this bullshit today, I'm glad the bleeding stopped. I mean, I'm glad it's 26.50. It went back to 26. Actually went up to 26.75 at about noon. And I was glad that at 10 o'clock, it didn't keep going down. I said, oh my God, this is going to be 2,600 soon. But now with the derivatives, they're now buying. They're now doing call options that they want the price to go up. So they're selling here and they'll buy when the price goes up. Now, the thing to keep in mind will be China overnight. The U.S. did this and Europe did this when China was out, right? When China's in, it's 27.47, right? China gets out, trading day ends. Here comes the UK. Here comes US, mostly the UK, because they're afraid. They know they're bankrupt. So they do the derivatives. They try to get the price down, which I don't understand. Now we'll see at about 6:30, China gets it. And now China can buy gold at 26.60 instead of 27.50. Look for China to unload big time. My guess is this will be close to 2,700 when we wake up tomorrow, because it's China's turn to play. And they're going to buy because it's cheap. So will Russia, so will India. I don't see BRICS running away. They just had the summit. They're anticipating that, that Trump's going to win. I was glad to see Trump win only because we know George Soros controls the voting, and it was nice to see George Soros couldn't control the election like he did last time. So that made me feel good that we beat George Soros, because that's who you're fighting, is George Soros. Trump, okay, he'll close the border. You can't fix the money unless you have gold. And you got to value gold at 20, 30,000 an ounce to pay off your debt. And if you don't pay off your debt, you're dead. So somebody from Tennessee, maybe it's Johnny Majors calling me. He wants me to coach the Vols. Anyway, so that's what happens. You still have the dollar worthless. You still have the debt. Gold's still the play. It just was derivatives that were done to get out of their options so they didn't lose their ass. That's all that happened today. Understand, this is all paper. Nobody in their mind sold an ounce of gold. Nobody's negative on gold. The fact that the dollar rose and the yen did this and the dollar did that has no bearing on gold. The fact that Bitcoin went up has no bearing on gold, and why it went up, who the fuck knows? I wouldn't buy an ounce of Bitcoin if you bought it for me at $73,000. I could care. Not my cup of tea. Greg and John, hello. So this is what we're faced with. If you didn't understand what I teach you, which is it's derivative, it's paper gold, you might start sweating, going, oh, fuck, we're down. I turned around, I get my first paycheck tomorrow, and where am I going? I'm going to go buy gold on sale. I just saved $80 an ounce because it's going to be $26.60. It's only going to cost me $27.60 instead of $28.60. So I save $100. I can buy a quarter ounce with it, which will make up for what I gave to Jenna was an ounce and a quarter ounce. So I can buy them back and get back. My goal is 100 ounces now that I'm back to work. I'll get my check tomorrow. I saw my stub. It's more than I thought because the taxes were not 75%, but 79%, which means I get to keep it. So we will see. So I'm off to buy gold tomorrow or Friday, whatever. Fortunately, the store's not too far from where I work, maybe about 6-7 minutes, but I'm going to walk to the car, drive there, buy it, come back. So it'll take 15-20 minutes. Silver 31.18. Again, it's a joke. It's so undervalued. They don't want us in gold and silver because then the government can't control us. So of course we want to be in it. I suggest to buy as much as you can right now because this is a huge sale of the century at $26.60. You're not going to see this price anymore. This is going to $3,000. We know it's going to $3,000. I'm not concerned about it, but you got to wait. Hey, Luke, I was expecting to see you. I know you sweated when it dropped from 4 a.m. till 10 a.m, and it dropped 80 points. I knew you were going to be sweating ice. This is a beautiful buying time. Again, nobody sold it. Nobody's negative gold. Supposedly, it's the dollar stronger because Trump got elected. Well, how does that make the dollar stronger? You got $130 trillion printed. How does it become stronger? Again, these are Keynesians who don't know anything, right? This is why we're in the Austrian camp. We understand you can't print all this money. It doesn't go up in value. And just because the JP Morgan did the derivatives and lowered the price on derivatives, it is not demand. BRICS is not going to stop buying gold. They're going to eat it up. Like I said, from about 7 o'clock till about 2 a.m, you're going to see this price go back towards 2,700. And then since they unloaded the derivatives. See, what happened probably is they had derivatives that expired at 2670 and 2680, and then the price went up to 2760 where it was, and they're shitting in their pants. So this is about getting out of their positions, and they use this Trump election to do it. Okay, they're out. Now here come the Russians and the Chinese going, hey, it's $100 cheaper. Like me tomorrow, I'm going to go buy because it's $100 cheaper. I have no thought of selling. I have no thought, but buy more. It's cheap. Lucas, Bitcoin up 10%, unreal. The days of printing are done. The days of printing what? The days of printing money or Bitcoin? What does that mean, Luke? Well, because they think that the dollar, to rescue the dollar from the debt and the economy, we're going to go to Bitcoin. But if the Bitcoin is not backed by gold, there's no difference. It's still toilet paper. Bitcoin will not help us. So people are flocking in because they think Trump's going to go to Bitcoin. I guess they think that helps the value. All of a sudden, Trump's the savior of Rome. I mean, I don't get that. Yeah, Trump calls oil liquid gold. The only hope for this country is to go on a gold standard, not a Bitcoin standard, and get the fuck out of the dollar. We all know that oil is not money. Oil cannot be used. It's not exact. I can't go to the grocery store with oil. Here's a gallon of Quaker State. I want to buy eggs and steak. Only gold and silver are the lifeboats, the only lifeboats. So don't get too excited. That's why I kind of did this class now instead of going to the pool, which I might do after. It's very long days for me because I'm up and out by 7:45 and I work all day. Then if I go to the pool, I don't get home till like 6:30, and it's just catching up with me. So I'm kind of going, maybe come home first. I just ate, do this, and then I can go to the pool just to relax, get a little break in. Luke, all Trump's been saying lately is the new golden era. Trump must have gold because there's no gold in your Fort Knox. I love using that term from Die Hard 3. There's no gold there. It's China's, right? And I showed you a Ronald Reagan clip that he says that. So the only hope to get out of this debt, I mean, just because Trump's in office, the $36 trillion debt didn't go anywhere. It's still $36 trillion. The deficit is still there. The wars are still going on. He doesn't take power to January 5th or 6th? You still got the wars going on, which is unfortunate. I wanted to meet Daria over Christmas, but I don't know if I can because they're not going to end, who's ending it? Biden doesn't know what day it is. They're probably all crying, Biden and Harris and Obama and George Soros. How did we beat George Soros? Amazing. I'm shocked that he didn't fix the election. I thought for sure that's what he does. But yeah, I think Trump will have more Austrian economists in his camp, maybe, hopefully, which will lead you with the only option is gold. Any way you look at it, the dollar is worthless, right? We know that. Bitcoin has no value. We know that. The only alternative is the gold. We know that. So we're fine. I mean, the dollar, this is just, I don't really know what it is. Oh, gold's up to 2663. All right, we're back in the 2660s. This will be 2,700 when we wake up. You watch. So this is what's happening. It's derivatives, right? So if you short the derivative at 2750 for 2650, the only way you're in the money is to sell it at 2650, which means the price has to go down, which coincidentally, it got to 2653 and then it went back up. So at 2653, they had all their derivatives. They're losing their ass. They sell them all. And now we're back to 26.64. Here we go. The Chinese must be in charge of COMEX right now. Now, I showed you where Russia is sitting there going, let me show you that. They're doing a Russian gold exchange for physical gold, not for paper gold. Let me get to that one. Our boy, Russia's new gold exchange to rival. Russia ends gold trade with the G7. BRICS, it's a little out of thing. BRICS presses metal exchange threatens the U.S. and the U.K. So you can see Russia's coming out with a precious metal exchange, which will be physical. Now, we should all feel a lot better because now there's not only competition, it's physical and it's Putin. And when you're sitting on 20,000 tons of gold, you want the price to go up. And China's sitting on 60,000 tons, wants the price to go up. I'm sitting on 50, 60 ounces. I want the price to go up. So they're going to want the price to go up. I don't know what Trump has in his mind. He can't control it. They've tried to keep the price down. They can't do it. So that's not going to happen. Luke, he very well may appoint Judy Shelton, a gold standard economist, to Fed chairman before he eliminates it total. What the hell is a gold standard economist? I've never heard that before. Are you saying she's an Austrian economist or a classical economist? I'm into the gold standard, but I'm Austrian economist or a classical, which is the same thing, economist. That's what I am. And we believe in the gold standard, right? So that's fine. Where is he going to find the gold? He doesn't have any. Unless he has it in him and Elon Musk have gold in their basement. You don't need much. Maybe what, 3,000 or 4,000 tons is all you need to go on the gold standard, because you make the price $10,000 an ounce, and then you come out with this and say, okay, this is now backed by gold. You don't need that much at $10,000 an ounce. That would be his out. Then he can pay off his debt, $36 trillion. Otherwise, we're all fucked. Well, we're not fucked because we got the gold and the silver. We're the smartest guys in the country right now because we have the gold and silver. Lucas, very pro sound money, promoter of the gold standard. You nailed it. Okay, so she's an Austrian. Well, there you go. That's fine then. We're fine. That's the only out for the U.S. is gold. You have to understand that. Otherwise, we're broke, and BRICS has all the gold, and we're eating rice and and polluted food because we can't afford anything. Well, we can afford it because we have the gold. See, our gold goes up, not down. As the dollar goes to zero and it's at 1 cent, and I still believe it's at zero. In other words, I'm on the Titanic and the water's coming in. We've hit the iceberg, and I'm going, we're sunk. Even though we're only 80% in the water, I'm going, well, logically, we're sunk. It's the other 20% is going to come in, and the boat's going to go sink. Well, that's kind of what I'm at. It's zero. You can't stop the water from coming in. The dollar's worthless. And here's BRICS to save the day with the gold-backed currency. Will Trump try to join BRICS? I don't know. He's friends with Putin. I don't know. Will these wars end? Supposedly, Trump's going to come in and end the war. I believe he ends the Ukraine war very easily. I don't believe he ends the Middle East very easily. He'll threaten this and that, and they're going to say, well, we have gold-backed currency. We don't give a fuck. This is supposed to happen December 1st. If Trump won, if Harris won, it would have happened tomorrow. But that's where we're at with it. So I think he's smart enough. It sounds like that gold's the only way out, and it must be valued much higher. So we're fine. Don't worry about today where it went down because and Bitcoin went up. I watch Bitcoin because it worked now. We have Bloomberg, so I see it all. It goes up $2,000 one day and down 2,000 the next. Who the fuck knows? Um, Gold doesn't do that really. Gold, it's pretty much should be 3,000 by now, but it's not like it's went from three. Even today, it went down $90, not 3,000, $5,000. So BRICS didn't go anywhere. Trump, we'll see. What's Biden going to do his last 2 months? How's he going to sabotage everything? Knowing that idiot, he'll send a nuke or something. I don't know, but sour grapes. But I'm happy Trump won. I think we don't really know what we're getting from Trump. He's kind of crazy. If he does this embargo, we know what happened in 1929, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. If he does fucking tariffs, we are going to be in a massive depression because it kills the economy. You can't look at it like, well, we'll tariff China. Okay, so what are we going to do? How are we going to eat if you want to tariff the rest of the world? You fucked everybody because that's what keeps the prices down is the competition. And if you've tariffed it, there's no competition. The U.S. certainly aren't going to lower the prices. It's going to be a massive depression if he does these stupid tariffs. Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, 1929, and you see what happened. The problem was FDR was a Keynesian, and he had John Maynard Keynes as his finance guy. What an idiot. And that's why we're in a depression from 1930 to 1945. 15-year depression it should never have been. He didn't need to get involved. Just let the market corrected. By 1930, it was back to $250, the stock market. Went from 257 to 29 back to let's say 40 in 6 months. By March of 1930, the market was fine. You didn't need to do anything. You certainly didn't need to do the gold. You didn't need to build roads and expand government and do Social Security. All this bullshit shit that he did was take money out and kill the economy for 15 fucking years. So everybody loves FDR. The guy's a fucking idiot. Unbelievable. He got us in World War I. He let Pearl Harbor happen. He knew it was going to happen, and he let it happen. So we would get into the war to get out of this fucking depression that he got us in. Unbelievable. He got Hitler into the war and Stalin into the war because of the depression. All these countries had no choice. They're starving. Germany was bankrupt. They had gotten bankrupt in 1923, and then they came in with the Deutschmark, right, to offset the Reichsmark or vice versa. One of the marks was the one you needed a wheelbarrow for. However, when Hitler started in 32, they were bankrupt. They didn't have a penny. They didn't have any gold. And that's why Hitler went to war, was to steal the gold. That's all he did, was go country to country to steal the gold. They used a fiat money, just like this. There was a German money that was worthless. And that's how they built their military up and started feeding their people. And they bullshitted them into buying a Volkswagen with whatever. And then he steals gold, and then he's got some money. But Germany was bankrupt going into World War II. A lot of it because of what FDR did. He basically started World War II, FDR. Otherwise, if everything's going smoothly, Hitler's not even in power. They don't need him, but he's promising jobs. You get to wear this fancy black uniform. I mean, that's how Hitler got in. That's how Stalin got in. That's how Mussolini got in, because it was so bad. I got government jobs for you. You get a gun and you get a nice uniform. How many millions of people died because of FDR? Worst president I've ever seen. Worse than LBJ. So here's Trump. If he does this tariff, he fucks us all. except for us with gold and silver. We are we are like, you can't hurt us with gold and silver. We've got it. You can't touch us because the value will just keep going with the more stupid ideas that come up. And if he says, I'm going to take your gold and silver, we move to Switzerland. No fucking way. It's hidden away. Nobody knows we have it. That's the beauty of it. When you go to the gold store, they don't report it to the government that you have it. They make the sale, but they don't report it. So nobody knows you have it. Just shut up, sit down, and act stupid. Gold, what's that? I don't know what gold is. And that's the key to it. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's don't be sweating now. It'll go back. It's going to 3,000. It's going with BRICS. Is there anything Trump can do to stop BRICS from going gold back? And I just don't see it. Putin's not stupid. He wants it. He know the ruble is going broke. I look today; it's 98-1. So when I give Daria $100, she gets 9,800 or 98,000 rubles. So it's destroyed. So, and they need to pay for the war. They need gold. They need the gold-backed currency to pay for this stupid war until it ends, which will be at least 2 months. So don't worry about your gold and silver. As I said, I'm going to go buy more tomorrow. I get $100 off. I'm so excited. It's like all I thought today was I got to go buy more gold. This is the sale of the century. How is it even down this far? And you could just see the derivative go down and down and down. You're like, where's the pushback? And it didn't happen till 2650, but you'll see it tomorrow morning. It'll be close to 2700 because now there's no pushback the other way. They want it to go up because now they did a call option. You're calling up. The put options are put down. So now they're doing call options at 2750. So they're not going to interrupt gold going up to 2700 or 2650. Not going to happen. Lucas, it's all going to change. No taxes on Social Security, no income tax coming soon. What do you mean no taxes on Social Security? When you take it out of your paycheck or when I get it, I don't have to pay taxes on it. Either way sounds good. Gold will have to get revalued by Congress. Now it can happen. He'll eliminate taxes and tariffs. Well, he's not going to eliminate tariffs if he's doing it. He'll eliminate taxes. I hope so. T Dots, welcome to the class. Does the same apply when you sell it one day, sell it one day? No, it's dependent. Right now, it's dependent how much you sell. So if you sell 10 ounces of gold, you're fine. If you sell, I think it was 30 ounces of gold, then you pay a tax. So I'll play Andy Shackman. He's being a dealer. He knows what the tax is. I believe it's 25 ounces of silver. So you go in with 20 and it's, I think 30 something ounces of gold. So if you bring in 10, there's no tax on it. It's how many you bring in. So you just keep it under the number. I'll find that and play that for everybody. But no, there's no tax. There's no 1099. It's all dependent on how much you bring in. Will you be asked identification if you sell it to a business? No. So if I go into my coin store my beloved coin store where I buy my gold and I go to sell it, I sell it. They know me. I never show ID. There's no point of it. Now, if you're afraid of a tax, you send in your kid or something. We get a neighbor and just he sells it. He gets the money and off he goes. My guy's gonna give me a check. So if I take 2 ounces and I get $6,000 for my 2 ounces, he's gonna, I guess, give a check because they can only carry so much money. So they'll just write a check and you go to the bank and you cash the check and immediately take the money because you don't want money in the bank. And that'll be it. But I've never been asked for ID. Even when I use my credit card to buy the gold, I never get ID. But I'm there a lot. They know me. I tease them. I go, thanks for selling me physical gold at paper gold prices. I really appreciate it. And they don't get it. I think the owner gets it because I taught them, but basically they just look at me like I'm nuts. And I go, I'm skipping and dancing out to my car going, I just got physical gold for $2,600. It's just too much. But no, there shouldn't be any there shouldn't be any tax. There's no capital gains. It's not it's kind of an investment, but it's not like a stock. Stocks are investment. Gold is a bigger investment, but nobody wants to say it's an investment, which blows my mind. Every $100 it goes up, I make $6,000. How is that not an investment? And the way I bought it at about 1,700 is 20. That's 1,000 times 60. I just made $60,000. How is that not an investment? I don't understand. But it's going to keep going because there's demand by BRICS central banks buying it up and buying it up and buying it up. So now it's a discount. Here, the central banks are going to buy it up. It's almost like planned here. We're going to lower it because of Trump. And then they're all saying, okay, go ahead and lower it. And now we're all going to buy it $100 cheaper. You watch. It'll be bought like that. Defers. What's defers? What are you talking about, Luke? Defers. T, if you're saying sell it to the coin store, there's no tax. If you're saying sell it to a business, what do you mean, going into Kroger's and using it to buy something or pay a bill? If you're paying a bill with it, you're buying paint or lumber and you're using gold, I can't imagine why you'd be asked ID. That doesn't make sense. If that's what your question is. That was a tough cough, but I can't imagine that. It's the draining of the nose I get. Luke, if you can't see my previous post, it's being shadow banned by Google. All I see is .defers. I don't see anything before that except he'll eliminate taxes and tariffs. Again, yeah, it's really, I don't say anything about it. I don't invite them to look at my chats. Maybe spell it with a space, whatever you're trying to spell, CA space SH or GO space LD, and that way they can't read it. Do that if you have to. Try it again. All I see is defers. And then he'll eliminate taxes and tariffs. See, I don't think he'll eliminate tariffs because he keeps saying he's going to tariff China. If they want to sell stuff here, all that hurts is us because then it raises the prices. So if we're buying something made, a chair from China and it's $20 and he puts this tariff on it, now it's $50. And the U.S. guy is going to sell it for $50 because now he doesn't have competition to sell it for $20. And so that hurts us. It doesn't hurt China, and it doesn't help the U.S. guys because it'll be too expensive to buy anyway. So you've got to meet. Excuse me. So you've got to meet the market. You've got to sell it at the market. So if he tariffs it and he makes the prices higher, nobody's going to buy it anyway because we'll pay $20 for something, but not $30. So the tariffs help hurt us. They don't him because he can't sell his little cars anyway. They're $100,000. Nobody's buying them. Elon Musk bothers me because all he does is he gets government subsidies to run his business. Government subsidies his space thing and the cars. He's not selling anything. He's way over market. He doesn't even know what the market is. Nobody wants electric cars, but the government is giving him money and making his stock more valuable through all bullshit printing of the money and putting it into these stocks. Look for the market to crash soon. I know it goes up and everybody's happy, but it's all it's all bullshit. I'm standing there watching Bloomberg today, and I said to some guy, "It's all an illusion. None of this is real. It's all." What movie was that? Where it's the whole thing is fake. I can't think of it. But it's just an illusion. There's no. It's all a Ponzi scheme. The world's biggest Ponzi scheme is that this has value. This has no value. So if you're in stocks or Wall Street or the banks, that's where they want you. That's where they make money from you. So they're keeping you in there. That's why we buy gold, because that is your get out of jail free card, not the fucking dollar. That's worthless. It's worthless. It can't get better. You've got $150 trillion out there. How the fuck does it have a value? And how do you help inflation? You go burn 140 trillion of it. Is the only way to make the dollar worth more is to make it worth, is to make less of it. But you already have 150 trillion. So how the fuck does it have a value? And how the fuck can you say, well, it's look, inflation's down? No, inflation is printing the money, and you've printed enough and you still haven't gotten rid of it. So it has not gone down in value. It's worthless. It doesn't get stronger. And the dollar is stronger versus other currencies. Well, they're all printed. There is no money in the whole fucking world because they're all, this is worthless. The dollar's worthless. The British pound's worthless. You know, the only thing that with value is the Zimbabwe ZiG, which is a gold-backed Zimbabwe dollar. And they just said they're getting out of the US dollar. Russia wants them out. That's it. That's the only dollar with value is the ZiG, a gold-backed Zimbabwe currency. Otherwise, everything else is worthless. The yuan will not be the reserve currency, obviously not the ruble, and none of them have a fucking value. So don't listen to that shit. I get real frustrated hearing these idiots talk. Oh, the dollars went up in value. That's why stocks are up today and Bitcoin. And you're just like, these are the dumbest people I've ever heard in my. It's really hard for me to watch because I know the truth and I know it's all bullshit. It's all a Madoff Ponzi scheme, and they're just, it's like when you watch the Madoff thing on Netflix or one of these, the guy, the mathematical guy keeps going to the SEC writing things. Oh, they're doing this and they're doing that. He's so stupid he doesn't understand the SEC's in on it. As was J.P. Morgan, as was the Russian mafia. We're all in on the Madoff Ponzi scheme. So if you go to the SEC, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to say, no, he's fine. Because they're in on it. They're getting kickbacks. Fucking idiot. Oh, what? I would have strangled the guy. Like, you must be the stupidest guy I've ever heard of. Obviously, they're in on it. It's just like the NFL when they fix a game. They're in on it. The refs are in on it. New York's in on it when they don't reverse a call or they call it an incompletion when it's a catch or the other way. They're all in on it. It's all fixed. Jesus Christ, these people are so fucking stupid. If you can't see my previous post, it's being okay again. Well, try your post again, Luke. Anyway, what did they kill everybody who's watching? I went from 10 people to 0. Anyway, keep that in mind. What's going on? So the whole thing's a Ponzi scheme to keep you in dollars. Why gold went down was simply the derivative. They're getting out of the derivatives that they got screwed in. That's why gold went down today. Nobody sold. It's nothing to do with the election. It had nothing to do with Bitcoin. Nobody sold an ounce of gold. Who's fucking selling an ounce of gold now? You did, and you put in spaces or maybe misspell, put a Z in for something. Can you see? Yes, I can see this post. I can see bastards. I can see I did zero chance. I can see again. And if you can't see my previous post, it's being shadowed. So I can see most of your posts. So it's not like I can't see you. You tried twice. Well, spell it differently. Don't spell it right. We'll figure it out. I'm used to Bobby sitting there going, God knows what Bobby is typing. Just put a few spaces in or something. I wonder what it is you're trying to tell me. Just send me an email on it. You did. Well, I don't know what to say, Luke. Just email it to me. We'll figure it out. So a little bit longer for Capital Grill. Maybe we'll get together Thanksgiving now that I'm working. I get my first check tomorrow. I'm so excited. Now I still get Social Security on Monday, and then next Thursday I'll get my second check. So off to the gold store. Now that I can now spend some money I have in the safe that I was waiting for a rainy day, I can now spend that because I know I'm getting money in, and I can start hammering my credit cards, which are mostly gold purchases. I said to myself, I might as well buy gold. Gold's going to go up, and who knows if I have to pay the credit cards down, because when the money goes out, how are they, there's no money to pay your credit cards with or your mortgage or any of that shit. That's what I told him, Greg. Greg has got to put his 2 cents in. That's what Luke's trying to do. He's heard what I said. Anyway, so Trump's in charge. Biden, he's got 2 months to destroy the world. Kamala Harris, what I didn't like is she wasn't elected. She never won the primary, which is what you need to do to get into the thing. So here was their plan. Biden's going to go win the primary and then back out. So because Kamala Harris could never win the primary. George Soros put her there. So I don't know how he lost. He must be like, oh, I can't believe I lost. God knows what Elon Musk is going to do. And Robert Kennedy Jr., I don't know what he's doing. Trump, we got to see. I don't know what to expect from him. He did lower taxes the first time, but he raised tariffs. That's a big no-no. So we get to keep some of it, but then when we go spend it on items from China, we're fucked. So we got to be careful there. Just go buy as much gold and silver as you possibly can manage, and we'll figure it out. I can't do Thanksgiving, brothers, family in town. What about Steelers, Ravens, 11? Yeah, we should be able to do that. So that's in 2 weeks. Yeah. Let me see about that. So what would I come in on Saturday and leave Sunday after the game? Let me know. Capitol Grill Saturday Eve, then Steelers at 1. Yeah, okay. I can see about that. Sounds good. I've been itching to travel. I was thinking of maybe Vegas Thanksgiving. A couple people want me to go there. I'm hoping Daria Christmas, but I don't. We're hoping the war's over, but Trump won't be in till January 5th. I get a week off work. They're closed for Christmas, so it's silly to because that week I won't get paid, and then to take a week in February to meet Daria, I'd lose another week's pay. So we'll see about that. I'm going to ask my boss, since he really wants to hire me, but it was too quick, to see if he can pick up some of the holiday, at least Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve and New Year's and New Year. And if he can pick up 4 or 5 of the holidays, because otherwise I don't get paid for him. I mean, it's bullshit, because he wanted me quicker than they could hire me, so he brings me in as contract. Anyway, all is going pretty well at work. It's all new for everybody because they just broke off from the powertrain into their own ignition, and everything's a mess. So that's why he wanted me so quickly, but I can't do a whole lot. My only suggestion is to do a different budget system like we had at Mercedes, where you just key into the budget system. We have these templates we got to upload into this one stream, and I go, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Just fucking key right into the system. Cost center 123, account 123, $500,000 for paper, office supplies, and you put it right in the system, and you're done. There's no uploads and downloads. People just don't get it, do they? Stay downtown. All right. Let's see, who's there? Lynn Swan, John Stallworth going to beat me? Have dinner. Who's alive? Dave Parker. Can I have dinner with Dave Parker? Renaissance or William Penn Hotel. Is William Penn going to be there? That'd be cool. I liked him. All right. So basically, that's our economic lesson. It's not going anywhere. Don't worry about the gold and silver. And if you notice, if you go onto that gold site and you go from gold to silver, it's the exact same down and over line, the same graph as you get for both. It's so stupid. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Why is my computer not there? There we go. So we'll see what happens if he's a Austrian Trump and he puts in the gold standard. We'll be fine, and our gold price will go to the moon because I'll have to revalue it because it's not like I love when people say, well, there's not enough gold coins to go around. Well, of course not, idiots. You make the value of the gold coins worth more, and then this is now backed by gold at 10,000 an ounce. That's how you do a gold standard. The money, look, in the 1960s, we had a gold standard. The money was backed by gold. Nobody walked around with gold in their pockets, except for smart people. Anyway, so that's what's happening. BRICS, we'll keep an eye on them, see what's going on. I don't know Trump, what he's going to do to deflect BRICS. They're definitely more afraid of Trump than they were Biden, because Biden was on the Chinese payroll with the $5 million he got from China or whatever. So we'll see what happens. But basically, we're fucked with the debt, the deficit, and the dollar that's worthless. So any way you want to look at it, we're fucked. All right. I played in football, turning the channel. Why did they give Casey D-Hop? That was stupid for a 5th round pick. I don't know. I don't understand any of these picks where they get, like, the Lions got the guy for a 6th or 7th round pick. What's the point of that? They're never going to work out. I don't know. But I don't like the guy the Lions got anyway. I don't think he's any good. So I played the game tomorrow, Cincinnati, Baltimore. I put up 2 locks in the pros already. I see the Minnesota-Jacksonville game is high winds. I think there's a hurricane moving through, so I took them off, replaced them, if you're curious. So I got to keep an eye on the weather. Again, the Detroit lock with Green Bay, I'm not going to blame the weather. I don't think it was a bad pick. Detroit didn't drop 1 pass. Green Bay dropped 7, including the one in the end zone when the guy didn't stop to catch the ball. What the fuck was that? Green Bay's receivers are horrible. They're very scared, I thought. And, if the guy throws it behind you, you got to stop to catch it. You don't just keep running going, oh, well, it's behind me. What the fuck? some of these coaches are just terrible. Okay, so let's go through some football. Now we can still look at. There's one I was looking at, starve cancer. She talks about a few things that starve it. So maybe I'll play that one later, tomorrow or something. There's one here in China. Rural China erupts angrily. Billions trapped. Banks vanished. I'm going to play 2 minutes of this. That's all we need.
Auto insurance. Let me explain. So apparently,
demanding answers. Security guards and plainclothes officers were at the scene, but the situation became chaotic, with one person suddenly collapsing. At a meeting, a person resembling an official from the institution admitted there were issues with certain funds related to the Mutual Aid Society. On October 30th, the city's regulatory bureau conducted an investigation, finding risks and halting all services at the institution. As for the extent of these risks, they said answers would come only after completing the investigation. One unhappy depositor questioned, how could a bank have such risks? On November 1st, a report by Chinese media outlet Benliu News quoted a resident, Mr. Li, who stated that the new rural cooperative Rural Capital Mutual Aid Society in Nehe had shut down, leaving locals with billions in deposits that they can't access. Mr. Li had learned the previous evening that the institution was no longer operational and that withdrawals were blocked. When he went to check on October 31st, he found the door shut. That afternoon, he and other depositors reported the issue to city officials, but authorities gave no clear response, only stating that time was needed to investigate. Mr. Li mentioned.
That's what's called a bail-in. Billions of dollars in the bank closes down, you can't get it. This is why you don't want any gold or silver in your safety deposit box at a bank. They'll close the doors, you won't be able to get it. Coming to a theater near you, if it's happening in China, it will happen here. I don't know what Trump can do about it, if it even goes that far. The whole shit might happen in the next 2 months before Trump takes office. Do not be surprised if a lot of shit happens. And they'll blame Trump because they don't give a shit, right? Biden doesn't care. They lost the election. They're going to leave Trump a nice mess. So that's what bail-ins are. The bank won't give you your money. It just happened in China. It will happen here. Do not leave money in the bank. Do not leave anything in a safety deposit box in a bank. Take it out if you need to, maybe a U-Haul storage or one of these storage bins where you can lock it and you have the only key. Then maybe I would put some gold and silver in there over some valuables, anything that's in your safety deposit box. Rolexes, diamonds, rubies, gold. Don't leave it in a bank because you'll get fucked. Oh, I can't get it from the bank. The bank's shut down. Oh my God. They got to investigate. Yeah. 5 years later, they're still investigating. Please be careful with that. Yeah, let's see. 2659. No. 2663. Here we come. There we go. All right, let's look at the pros first. Actually, yeah. So looking at the weather, the only weather I see is Minnesota at Jacksonville with the hurricane. It's only 13-mile-an-hour winds. It's not a big deal, but we'll wait. All right, so we've got Baltimore 5.5, 6.5, 52.5 to our beloved Joe Burrow. Both teams are over 25 defense, Cincy 24 Baltimore. If somebody can explain Baltimore to me, you lose to Oakland at home, you lose to Cleveland at Cleveland, you kill Buffalo, and you kill Denver. Can somebody please explain? What is it all fixed? Are they fixing these games? That's what it looks like. How do you lose to fucking Cleveland with Winston, and then San Diego played them and he didn't do anything? as I thought. So I have played this game tomorrow. So if you're buying from me, buy tomorrow, because otherwise you're going to miss a lock, and you're going to, you're going to like, what happened? So if you can, buy it tomorrow. If you're going to buy, tell me, and I'll give you the game. Trusting, if it's one of my regulars, that you're going to pay me for the locks or the plays or whatever. Let's see. The Giants, 6.5, 40.5 to Carolina. How they won with, that's how bad New Orleans is. They lost to Carolina and Steve Young. KC, 8 and 41.5 to Denver. I don't know which Denver team's going to show up now. They still have an 18 defense. They're an under team. Bo Nix is playing okay. Mahomes is Mahomes. I was surprised Tampa scored as much with the backup receivers as they did. So I'm not sure. Probably a close game, I would assume, but I don't know. Buffalo, 48 to Indy. Up from 46. Wow. Allen against Flacco. Buffalo an 18 with a 19 defense. Indy's an under with a 21. I'm confused with Indy because with Flacco, they score more, but you got Richardson blended in, and they got a 21 defense. So they should score more. I was surprised with the Minnesota game. They didn't score a lot. Indy's got a decent defense, but Indy should have scored on them. Mini Jacksonville, mini 4.5, 45. Minus 4.5, 40. Now, I don't know if it's the weather making the under go down. It's a windy day. That's it. No rain. Mini is a B team with a 19 defense. Sam Darnold against Jacksonville, who's now a W team. They don't score. They give up 28. They've been playing over games. They've been scoring like 20 and giving up 30 in most games. Hence, I locked them last week with somebody. Who did I lock him with? With Philadelphia. I didn't lock it. I should have. But I did play Philly. I didn't think Jacksonville would score. I'm getting confused. How good is Philly's defense? And of course, the game went over, but Philly won, so I had Philly. But yeah, so we've got to see there. But Jacksonville, pretty much it's an over. I want to bet it over, but I'm worried about the win, so I got to determine what to do there. Chicago, 6 and 39 to New England. Caleb's injured ankle, but I'm sure he'll play because he's such a good quarterback. New England, Jake May, they're all excited because he can scramble. Yeah, that's not what I want from my quarterback. Chicago with a really good defense. New England's a W team with a 24 defense. Chicago is an under with a 19. Caleb sucks. He sucks more and more each week. It's like when they score, they win. They want to give the credit to Caleb, even though he doesn't do anything. It's the defense or a long run. Frisco, Tampa. I believe McCafferty's back for Frisco. We've got 5.5 and 50.5. Tampa's an over team with the 27 defense. The Baker. Frisco's an even team with the 23 defense, and Purdy, the defense has not been as strong. However, with McCafferty running, that will help rest the defense. Very tough call here. Tampa can score, and they showed you last week on Kansas City, who's got a very strong defense. So we will see. Atlanta, New Orleans. Atlanta 3.5, 46.5. Atlanta's an over team. 24 defense, Kirk Cousins, who sucks. New Orleans is an even team with the 25 defense. And Carr, how they lost to Carolina, I have no idea. Olave did get hurt in the game, but still, New Orleans, there's something wrong with them. Pitt and Washington, game of the week. Washington is 2.5, 3, 45.5. This is A team against A team, 15 defense with Pitt, with Russell Wilson. Washington with Daniels, 21 defense. This is, I think, tease the dog scenario. Yeah, Saints fired their coach. How they hired him, I don't know what made them hire him, but and they fire him like this. I guess if you lose to Carolina, you deserve to get fired. Garlic is good for you. So is cinnamon. So is Celtic salt and cayenne pepper. If you are taking aspirin, don't take it anymore. It's bad for you. Take the cayenne pepper. I just had an omelet. I poured it on there. I went to the Mongolian barbecue. If you've ever been there, it's like a Japanese steakhouse where you take all your meat and put it in a bowl and give it to the chef. And it's just one of these round grills, and he puts it on the grill and he cooks it for you, and then you eat it. Well, I gave him half of these little cups you can put sauces in. Well, I put half of it with cayenne pepper because I was just going to dip the cayenne pepper. I wasn't going to take the whole thing. And he pours it over the meat. I didn't realize it. And so all my every bite was cayenne pepper. My heart, I had heartburn the whole night with the cayenne pepper. Oh, it's crazy. It was so hot, but it's so healthy for you. Luke, ticks are insanely priced, so may not be a good option. Cheapest lower level are $400 plus fees. Nuts. Well, we can go to the Capitol Grill and watch it then. Yeah, I'm not paying $400 go to a football game. That's not going to happen. Well, we'll figure out something. We may have to wait until gold hits 10 grand. Well, there you go. Well, $3,000 will still go. We just won't go to a game. So Washington is 345.5. I think this is tease the dog. Pitt, this is a dead even game. Take the points. Tennessee and San Diego. San Diego 7.5, 39 to Tennessee. Tennessee's a Z team with Rudolph, 27 defense. San Diego's another team. They don't score a lot, 13 defense, even though they got Justin Herbert. Harbaugh wants to run it. And San Diego wins this game and probably low scoring. I've been locking San Diego like every week, and it's not even close. Last week it was like 49, and they played a 35 or something. Philly and Dallas. Philly 7, 42.5. Philly's a B team, the 19 defense with Hurts. Dallas is a W team with the 28. Prescott's out, which is really, I'd rather have him in if I'm going to bet on Philly. Cooper Rush is the quarterback. I think Dallas has a good chance to win with Cooper Rush. Philly, I'm not sure how good their defense is, seeing how Jacksonville put 22 up on them. But a lot of Jacksonville is Trevor Lawrence running it in from the 10 because he can't quarterback. He sucks. So anyway, the JETSs against Arizona, you can get either side -1.5, and 46 is the total. The Jets are an under team with a 20 defense. They're not scoring with Rodgers. They did fire half the staff. They got a new offensive coordinator, a new coach. We'll see how that works. They did play well their last game. Arizona's an even team. I don't know Arizona. They're so inconsistent. 24 defense. I think the JETSs are a live dog here with Aaron Rodgers. Detroit, Minnesota, or Detroit, Houston. Somebody explain this to me. Detroit is laying 3.5, over under a 49. Are you fucking kidding me? I got Detroit -7, and I was being polite. CJ Stroud's terrible. There's no way Houston's winning this game. This is unbelievable. So I got Detroit minus 3.5. Now, unless the game's fixed, I mean, this is gold, Jerry. This is absolute gold. And our Monday night game, the Rams won 1.5, 50 to Miami. Tua against Stafford. Miami's a W team with the 23 defense. However, with Tua, they might be an E team. They'll score a little bit more. The Rams are an E team with the 24 defense. They don't have much of a defense. Look for points. The best team in the teaser is Minnesota. They're like 90% in a teaser. Here's all the play teams: Detroit, Green Bay, LA, Washington, Pitt, Tampa, Buffalo, Indy, Houston, Denver, San Diego, KC, and Baltimore. The whole fucking league in a teaser is like, 8-1, and over 2 years, like 15-1. Play against teams: the Jets, Houston, Indy, Miami, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Dallas, Seattle, Kansas City, Washington, Philly, and Carolina. Washington and Philly is a little bit to do with last year. Washington's very strong in a teaser this year. Carolina, we know they suck. And we can use, well, they got a new coach, but we can use them with Steve Young. So that's what we got. I got more teaser information I'll have to put up there. I updated all the last 4 weeks of teasers, so it really everybody's 8-1. It looks like not everybody, but a lot of the teams are very strong in a teaser. I've been focusing more on the totals than the teams, but like I should have played Minnesota instead of the over last week, but oh well. I did play the game tonight in college. There's 2 games. Let's look at that. And we're just going to go over the big games because I went over everything last night. Okay. 7 o'clock. Oh, it already started. Ohio, 20.5, 52.5 to Clark Kent, the Z team, and Northern Illinois, 2.5, 52 to Western Michigan. So I played one of those. It doesn't matter. They're both gone. Let's look at tomorrow. We got App State now 162.5. So Coastal Carolina was favored. Now App State is 162.5. And then we got Florida Atlantic, East Car 7.5, 57 to Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic's an E team, 30 defense. East Carolina over team, 28 defense. You'll probably get points in this one. There's not too much defense. App State, Coastal Carolina, they're both over teams. I would reckon you're going to get a lot of points in that game. Friday's game, Cal and Wake. Cal is 7:55. Be careful. They're flying from the West Coast to the East Coast. They're a B team with the 17 defense. Wake's an over with the 31. Iowa, okay. Memphis and Rice. Memphis is 9, 52.5. That line hasn't changed. Rice is an under team, 23 defense. Memphis is a B team, 23 defense. 52 might be Rice. Memphis can score. I don't know about Rice. Iowa, UCLA. Iowa 6 and 44.5. Again, you got to be careful. This is Iowa going to UCLA. UCLA is playing very good lately. Beat Nebraska, and they went on the road the week prior. I don't remember. I think they beat Rutgers or somebody. They're playing very well. They're a home dog. Iowa's got to travel to the Rose Bowl. They have the good runner, but I think UCLA is a good play here. The 28 defense is getting better, and they beat Big Nebraska, which was surprising. So they are playing better. And New Mexico and San Diego State. We got San Diego State 2.5 and 66 to New Mexico. New Mexico scores 100 points a game and gives up 100. They're an over team giving up 41 a game. San Diego State's even giving up 27. There should be points. Wyoming put up 40 on New Mexico. Definitely a high scoring game. Now, I'm not going to go through each game. Let's just go through the big games on Saturday. And Luke, TK Raiders got Desmond Ritter. Now they need to draft a quarterback. Yeah, Greg, they upcharge for division games. Face value is probably $300 each. When you buy on third-party sites, you pay the premiums, not going down much with how close the teams are in the standings. Can always wait until day before game to see if someone is trying to dump. That's the best play. They always do, but someone could be selling lower than face to dump. Well, what we used to do, I'd go to the Michigan games and you just go to the stadium and there'd be a guy outside the stadium. I got 2 for $10 and you'd buy it from him. You didn't care. So we'll see, but I don't know how it works in the pros, especially Pittsburgh. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's look at the big games Saturday. So Cincinnati is 556.5 to West Virginia. West Virginia, an over team with a 28 defense. Cincinnati's an A team with a 21 defense. Total of 56. Let's see. Ohio State, 37.5, 53. To Purdue. That's a big number in conference. Purdue, 37 defense. Notre Dame's he put up 60 on them. Ohio State off the win with Penn State. They have not played well lately like they did before. Losing to Oregon, barely beating Nebraska, beating Penn State by a touchdown. So when they're beating these teams 35-7, here's the reality of it. So we'll see how good they are. Florida, Texas, 21.5, 48. The whole damn Florida defense is out. Their first 2 quarterbacks are out. Texas 21. They're an A team with an 11 defense. Florida has been playing better. They played Georgia 2020, but then their quarterback got hurt. 3 guys on the defense got hurt, and Georgia eventually won by 14. So I don't, if Florida was healthy, I would take Florida the points in a heartbeat, but they're not. Texas, we'll see. Again, these conference games, you're playing Florida. It's not going to be a blowout here for Texas. Miami, Georgia Tech. Miami, 11, 63.5. Miami's the A team, 22 defense. Georgia Tech's a B team, 22 defense. Let me see if my Kings is the quarterback. Injuries. G-Tech. Kings questionable with an upper body, so we're not going to find this out for a while. Today's Wednesday, so we should know by Friday if Kings is going to play or not. No physical ticks anymore, so you have to buy online. No scalpers is old. Well, fuck it then. You're not getting a ticket. I mean, how are you going to get a ticket? What is no physical? What the fuck's going on? So you got to show them your ticket on your phone. And what if your phone dies? Stupid. Anyway, whatever. If they're going for 300, and we're not getting them for $50. I can't believe 300 is serious. This is against Baltimore, I think. So what you're saying is because it's a division game, it's 300. If they were playing New Orleans, it would be $5 for tickets, I assume. All games are digital tickets now for everything. That's just ridiculous. Even for your brother. So the Ohio State, Oregon, he must have made a few dollars on that game. They're all digital. That's ridiculous. I like the ticket, and then I can have the ticket stub, and I can put it in a plastic and say, look, I went to this game. All right. Iowa State, Kansas. Iowa State 3 and 50 to Kansas. coming off the loss. The game's at Kansas. Kansas is playing very well. This should be a pretty good game. Yeah, every game. Guess you can print it online. I don't know. I have no idea. Army, North Texas is an interesting one. North Texas lights you up. Army 5.5, 63.5. Let's see if Army's quarterback's back. Daly was hurt. Daly questionable with an undisclosed. I love that. What the fuck does that mean? Undisclosed. We're not going to tell you he's injured, but we're not going to tell you what. So if he plays, this is a great over because North Texas will score on Army. And Army, if they have Daly, will score on North Texas. Indiana, 13.5, 49.5 to Michigan. Look for Indiana to kill them. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them. I would make it the free play, but I'm tired of losing my free picks, so I'm not. I'll look for a really obscure game as our free pick. Clemson, Virginia Tech. Clemson 6.5, 53. They got 3 field goals blocked, and I lost by a half a point last week. 3 fucking field. One was from the 25-yard line. The guy kicks it into the line. Hopefully, they got a new kicker. But this should be points in this game. Georgia and Ole Miss. Georgia 2.5, 54.5 to Ole Miss. They're both A teams. Georgia with the 17 defense. Ole Miss with the 13. What will Jackson Dart do in this game? We know Georgia's been throwing it a lot more. They don't have a running attack like they used to. Their defense is okay, but not what it used to be. So this is a tough game here. I don't know about taking. I don't like betting against Georgia, so I don't know if I'm going to take Ole Miss. Then it becomes, do I want over or under? And I don't know what teams show up here. Georgia lost once. That's all they do. So this will be interesting. Colorado, Coach Prime, and Texas Tech. I heard Prime makes $30 million to coach. He's going to be the coach of Oakland, and they're gonna sign Prime as the number 1 pick, and they're going to get their ass kicked. Ticket stubs don't exist. Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Greg John has to vampire as he's doing now. He's in Pittsburgh. Of course he's a Steelers fan. Jesus Christ. All right. Colorado, 3.5, 62.5. A very good game. Texas Tech just beat Iowa State. Colorado's playing a little bit better defense, and they still have Prime. Very interesting game. Texas Tech, very explosive, good running attack, weak defense. We'll see what happens. South Carolina, 3.5, 46 over Mike Vanderbilt. Hard to believe it. I think I gave this as a free pick, or I think I wanted to. So we'll make Vanderbilt our free pick. 3.5, you get 9.5 with Vandy. Why are they the dog at home to South Carolina? It blows my mind. Let's check injuries. I think I did, though. And the only one you care about is Dagio Pavia. And he's fine. So we don't care about the rest of the injuries. Go Vandy beat South Carolina this week. So Texas A&M beats LSU at home. Then has a letdown, goes to South Carolina, gets killed. South Carolina's sky high. Now they go to Vandy, and Vandy's waiting for him. Go Vandy, beat Navy. Let's see. Oregon, 25, 57.5 to Maryland. Oregon will put up their 40. Maryland can get about 20. Probably could get over in this game. We'll see. Maryland scores. They have no defense. Oregon scores. Pretty good defense, but I think Maryland can put up 14 on them or something. Tennessee against Old Mississippi State. Tennessee 23.5, 61. Tennessee, very strong defense. No, not so strong quarterback. Old Mississippi State has a very explosive offense because they switched to Martin Van Buren now. but they don't have a defense. So this game we could see some points here. Arizona State 355.5 to UCF. Very good game, I think. TCU Oak State, TCU 1166.5, and you know how we play this game. Notre Dame 25.5, 42.5 to Florida State, and Uglia Buglia. Look for Notre Dame to shut out Florida State. Bobby's game, Alabama 358.5 to LSU. There's only one way to play this game, and we all know what it is. Oklahoma, Missouri, Oklahoma 41.5. Oklahoma has no quarterback, decent defense. Missouri, I don't know what happened to their team. Brady Cook was injured. The running back's been hurt. The defense had been hurt. I don't know what to do with this game. This should have been a lock, Missouri +9, but I can't do that now. They can't beat anybody. I don't know what happened to them. My boys, Penn State 13.5, 46.5 to Washington at Penn State. Penn State, I don't know. It's the Big Ten. The West Coast flying East Coast. They don't seem to be able to beat them. We'll see what happens there. I would lean to Washington at 19.5. I can't believe they're going to get killed at Penn State. They're a pretty good team. Pitt, Virginia, Pitt 7.5, 57.5. Maybe we'll go to that game, Luke. That won't be $300. Pitt 7.5, 57. Yeah, should be a good game. Vegas and Hawaii. Vegas 13.5, 50 to Hawaii. And Air Force and Fresno State. Fresno 10.5, 41. They lost to Hawaii last week. I would think they'd play a good game. Air Force sucks. They're the Z team. Mikey Keene's still there. I think Fresno wins. BYU, Utah, no Cam Rising, unfortunately. It's in Utah. This is a huge rivalry game. BYU's laying 40.5. I am not touching BYU. Utah with the backup quarterback, Zach Wilson's brother. Two strong defenses here. Yeah, you should play BYU, but it's a rivalry, and I can't do it. So I think it's a total bet. I can't take Utah in 10. Maybe that's the play, but there's no Cam Rising, unfortunately. Washington State 20.5, 70 to Utah State. Utah State's the explosive team. Putting up, what are they putting up? They're an over team with a 42 defense. Washington State's an over team with a 27 defense. But you got to get to 70, or in our world, 64. I don't know, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Those are your college games. I'll give you the Vandy +9.5 free. We've been riding Vandy for a long time, and they keep winning and winning and winning and winning. So we're going to keep playing them. And it's like we're riding black until red hits. And right now, South Carolina is not going to beat Vandy. Texas only beat them by 3. They beat Alabama. They beat Kentucky. Are we scared of South Carolina? No. Luke, Professor, I'll bet you Bobby Bowe could get us in a nice luxury box for the game. Well, yeah, probably could. We'll have to ask him, Bobby, can you get us into a luxury box at the Steeler game? My bro-in-law has no tickets. I asked him. He said tickets are really expensive the way of the world these days. Well, that's the inflation. The ticket prices aren't high. The money's worthless. Now, how much would we have to pay in gold for the ticket, right? We could use 1/10 of an ounce of gold to buy the ticket. It's $350. See, that's what gold does for you. That's why it's expensive, because this is crap, right? But if we have 1/10 of an ounce of gold, we're going to the game because it's worth more than the ticket. So there you go. me, I'm still content just going to a restaurant, watching the game, eating nice, and saving $300 to watch it. I don't have to be at the stadium to enjoy it. And to me, the really hoot is winning the bet. That's where it's at. Winning the bet is more important than being at the game. But I mean, I used to go to Michigan games. I never went to a Lion game. But yeah, the tickets are way out of sight because they got to pay for the players that they're paying 30-40 million dollars for their quarterback, so they got to up the ticket prices. So you think that they're paying for the quarterbacks? No, you're paying for the $40 million quarterback. And the team that just signed somebody for $50 million, the ticket prices are going to be $1,000. Who the fuck wants to go to a game for $1,000? You got to be out of your mind. Look at you could buy a quarter ounce and a tenth of an ounce of gold, or go to the game. What would you do? I'm buying the gold. So that's what we have. I'm going to wrap this up soon. I want to go swim. I have made dinner. I made an omelet with a lot of Celtic salt and cayenne pepper to it. So there is a few pro games posted. There's 2 locks in the pros posted, and a college game. Tonight's game's already posted. I got a good 8 to 10 college, which I will post probably tomorrow. And the pros, I got to be a little more careful, making sure I've got the overs and the unders properly. You've got to watch. It's like Richardson, and then here's Flacco. Well, it's a whole different flavor. But it fucks the team up because the continuity. So now you don't know what to do. What do I rank them with Flacco? What do I rank them with Drake May? What do I rank them now with Cooper Rush? So it again, I don't have enough statistics to analyze these teams switching quarterbacks like they do. Who else switched quarterbacks? We got Joe Burrow and Lamar. Okay. We got Daniel Jones and Steve Young. Okay. Drake May and Caleb. Caleb's got an injured ankle. I assume he's going to play. Josh Allen against Flacco. Well, we don't have a lot of Flacco. Nixon, Mahomes. Cousins. Now Carr's back. We've got Purdy and the Baker. We've got Russell Wilson and Daniels. Russell Wilson with what? 1 game, 2 games? We got Darnold against Lawrence. Lawrence has got a sprained ankle or something, but I'm sure he'll play. We got Rudolph against Herbert. We have nothing on Rudolph, very little. Hurts against Cooper Rush. We have nothing on Cooper Rush. Well, a couple years ago. We got Rodgers against Murray. Okay. Golf against Stroud. Okay. And Tua against Stafford, but Tua's only played a game or 2. He looked good against Buffalo, so that's enough for me. Stafford, we know what we got. We got Cooper Kupp back. Pukanuka again hurt his knee, and again it's questionable, but he's not on IR. Hopefully, is it the same knee that he hurt? Hopefully he'll be okay. You can't get these guys healthy, Pukanuka and Cooper Kupp. So again, this is what skews you. You're trying to analyze and pick, and then in the one position you can't analyze, you need more stats, is the quarterback. So that's where we're at with it. Trying to get that settled. So you're left with not locking games that you should lock and playing them small or not playing because you don't really know what you get. And that's what happens. But anyway, so don't be too concerned with gold. As long as there's demand for the product, the price will go up. You've got bricks with a lot of demand. So the curious thing we have to see is Trump with bricks. Supposedly December 1st, bricks goes gold back. That's what Mark McGuire told us. So we'll see if that's true. I know they want to do it. I know Russia wants to do it and really doesn't have a choice. They got to pay for the war. And if you think about it, there is no money in the world right now. It is all toilet paper, monopoly money. So how we're surviving without money, with just paper, doesn't make any sense to me at all. How you need money, right? Medium of exchange to buy and sell stuff. Why are people selling their stuff for toilet paper? When I get my paycheck, I'm running to the gold store and I'm buying gold and silver. I'm turning my money, I'm going to be Rumpelstiltskin. I'm turning my paper dollars into gold. And I don't need a spinning wheel for that. That's how I get out of the dollar change. I don't leave it in the fucking bank, and I go buy gold with it. So just be careful. Luke asked me how much gold or silver should I have, and I say as much as you can. Get out of the dollar as much as you can. And then Luke's buddy, who has the 4 million in the 401k, bye. Okay, let's say Trump goes to a gold-backed currency. How does the value of his 4 million in monopoly money go to gold? I would say it'd be worth like 40,000 at the most. Now, the Zimbabwe regular dollar was $30,000 for $1 US. The ZIG, the gold back, is $10. 30,000 to 10. So if we take that to 4 million, you're probably looking at 40,000. Because the value of the gold is much more than this monopoly money. You've got to realize that the monopoly money is worthless. Get the fuck out. Get out of the banks. Get out of the stock market. Oh, yeah, the stock's way high. It's all bullshit. They're printing money and putting it in the stock market. Well, how about Bitcoin? That's high. Why is Bitcoin high? Can anybody answer that question? No, because you can't, because you don't know why it's high. It's a bunch of idiots just about the Ponzi scheme, everybody, as they start dumping it at 70,000. They want you in it so they can dump it. It's an oldest thing in the, you raise the spread and then I'll get out. That's what you got. You want to trust Larry Fink? Good luck to you. The Russian mafia, I would trust them more than the CIA. Will Trump get shot at again? Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. George Soros does not want him in charge. And we'll see how they handle the Russians and the Chinese. They might not want him either. So we'll see. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's your football. So I don't know if I'm going to do this time of the night or what. It's good to come home. It just is too long of a day to go to the pool after work and then work out and then come home and I have a hard time then eating and doing class after all that. It gets too late. So I think the days I do class, for sure, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to have to come home first to do it like now. And now it's 7:30. I've eaten. I can go to the pool and relax and hot tub and be okay. I think that way. So I think that'll be the plan, is to maybe Tuesday, Thursdays. Today I came home because of the election and I knew people would be really like, why is gold down? And I was like that. Why is gold down? And then I realized it's the derivatives, not because of any reason, not because the dollar did this and the yen did that. And it's all derivatives. It's getting out of the derivatives is the only reason. And there wasn't a lot of buy. They waited till the Chinese were off. Anyway, so have a good night. Enjoy. Tomorrow I got the lock on the Cincy Baltimore game, and we'll go from there. I've been having really good weeks. I just got fucked on the lock. I was red hot Sunday. I think I was 8-4 or something like that. And really, I just lost the mini Indy over, which I should have played mini. And then the Detroit Green Bay, if the guy catches the ball in the end zone instead of keeps running, we win that one. It's not like we lost by a lot, even though the rain and a little wind. Detroit went up and down the field, didn't drop a pass. So I'm not going to buy the weather caused it. I think Green Bay, Love shouldn't have been playing, and he's still injured. And I think they'd have done better with Willis, because he probably would have ran around more. Love couldn't run around, and he kept fucking up and dropping snaps from center. Try getting under center. It doesn't always have to be a shotgun snap, especially in the weather like that. Why are you shotgunning? The coach, again, should be fired for being an idiot. These coaches are like the dumbest people I've ever seen. We'll do everything out of shotgun. No, there's a time to do it under center and a time to shot. There's a time to go for fourth down and there's a time not to. There's a time to go for two and there's time not to. Bunch of fucking idiots. Anyway, that's today, so don't worry about the gold. The demand is huge. What do Trump and the BRICS do now? This is our next. Does Trump stop BRICS, or can he not stop BRICS? Does BRICS, they still hate American. They probably hate Trump. If he's going to tariff them, they're going to be gold, because that takes away the sanction and the tariff. If I deal in gold-backed currency, you can't do it to me, because I'm out of SWIFT. They've already started that. So I don't think they can stop BRICS from going gold back. Even if it's Trump, what's he going to do? I'm Donald Trump. Yeah, I'm Putin. Who gives a fuck? So keep an eye on that. I'm not sure that interference can happen. Gold should bounce back. What's today? Wednesday. By Friday, it'll be 2,700 again. We're just delayed to hit the 3,000, which is where we should be at. BRICS is definitely going gold back. So don't listen to, well, they put it on the thing, but they delayed it or whatever. No, they're rolling it out very soon. Mostly Russia has to. They're broke. Again, the ruble's 97 to 1. It's broke. They have to go to gold if they want to survive. So keep an eye on that. But if Russia does it, it's the end of the dollar, because it'll collapse, because the dollar can't compete with gold. Nothing can compete with gold. So that's where you have it. Meanwhile, the rest of the world's in paper and it's worthless, and we're not using money, which is extremely confusing. How the world how the economy can go without money. I don't understand it. It's just paper. How is it going on monopoly money? How is the world running the economies without money? Seriously, I don't understand it, because you need the medium of exchange. You need money. You need to have a value, and none of this has a value. This is zero, and this is zero. How the fuck are we running an economy in the world without money? Somebody has to tell me, because I can't understand how it's working when there's no money. I just went to Italy. I paid for a hotel room with fucking monopoly money. Is everybody this stupid that I'll keep taking monopoly money? So I'll advise you, if you're working, when you get paid, go buy gold and silver with it. You don't want to keep the money. Pay your bills with it, but that's about it. So I've been licking my chops going, I'm getting a paycheck. I get to save money again and buy more gold again. It's hard just going on like Social Security, and that's all you got. And it's hard to, really you can't save. But it's nice to get more money than your bills are. And then it's, how much gold should I buy? And pay off credit cards, and the bills are easy now. So anyway, that's about it. Questions, comments? Have a good night. Again, free pick will be Vanderbilt. I think that's it. I'm so unlucky. I had Denver. How can Denver get killed by Baltimore? Baltimore loses to Oakland and Cleveland, and they killed Denver and put up 41 on that defense. Makes no sense. You watch. Denver will play KC very good. So I don't know. I guess it's just the matchup or whatever. These guys were wide open. I can't. And what bothers me is the spread was 9.5, like it was fixed, right? You're laying 7 to the spread was 8.5 to Cleveland, went to 7, and they lose. This spread was 9.5 to Denver, who's 10 times better than Cleveland, and they decided to play. They didn't play against Cleveland. They didn't even tackle. So I think I'm smelling Baltimore fixes a lot of games in my mind, in my opinion, because you can't explain them losing to Oakland with the 10-point lead or losing to Cleveland and then beating Buffalo and beating Denver the way they did. It's not the same team. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. www.teaserking.com. I am locking tomorrow's pro game. And then I have a car load on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if I'll be playing Friday. But anyway, have a great night. Don't worry about the gold. It's derivatives. It's them getting out of their positions is all that happened today. Nobody's selling gold. That's just bullshit. Nobody's the dollar. I love the excuse. The dollar got stronger versus other currencies. So why would I sell my gold? The dollar has no value. Why would I sell my gold when the dollar has no value and the other currencies have no value? Who the fuck cares? Why would I sell my gold? Why would gold go down? Because it's not even physical gold. It's priced. It's the derivative gold that's pricing it. So anyway, hopefully the Russian gold-back exchange will get out there soon, and then let's watch the price go to the moon. All right. Have a good night, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Time for the pool.